pleasure to be with you over the course of the week of show jumping here at the 5-star Santa Anita. The $50,000 first National Grand Prix, finishing up our competition week here. First time we've had show jumping back in 4 decades. I'd like to take a moment to thank all the proud sponsors who joined us throughout the competition week, including Arthur Mid Veterinarian, Breach Horse Transportation, C. Jarvis Insurance Company, Coleman Jump Company, Equestrian Services International, Racing Jockey Club Research Foundation, Horse Life, of course, Lugano Diamonds, our presenting sponsor and title sponsor of the 2024 Split Rock Jumping Tour, Perfect Products, USCF Network, Equestrian Closet, Green Juice, Saratoga Stalls, and of course Sir Davis. We had the Sir Davis final 5-star event this morning. Of course, first, North America's leading thoroughbred racing wagering and hospitality company. Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final competition here as the sun is shining, the sky's opening up. It's going to be a beautiful way to finish off a great week of show jumping at Santa Anita as we welcome our first of 43 horse round combination.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final class of the day. One of the big features of this Sunday at Santa Anita Race Park in Arcadia in California. It's the final day of action in this 5-star FEI World Cup jumping week. Of course, that World Cup competition took place last night, and we bring you now the $50,000 first racing meter 45 National Grand Prix. Plenty of impressive names coming forward in this competition, and Lily Keenan certainly one of those to kick things off for us. Her ride is Opium, J.W. van der Moorhoeve. Lily was the winner of the $125,000 Lugano Diamonds Welcome. Sadly, she clips the pole at the Dalman Oxer there at this quite early stage at fence 2. Of course, with this being the National Grand Prix, we're looking for the clears to go through to the jump off. Opium J.W. van der Moorhoeve is a 10-year-old stallion by Canaan and owned by Chansonet Farm. Lily also not too far away in the World Cup qualifier last night as well, just one pole down with her ride Argan de Belliard. "13 fences in this course, which has been set once again by Anderson Lima. And that is the 13th. Lily Keenan then comes home with a score of 4, just that very unfortunate pole at the second fence.
Quite a few of our riders have multiple horses to show. Here's one of them, Kyle King, with the first 2 to show.
Kyle King will go next with Bynamics Conthalube. This 12-year-old gelding is by Conthargos and owned by Janet Hirscher, former rider of Germany's Lara Weber. But Kyle primarily targets this horse at the national level competitions. Has a little rattle at that C. Jarvis Insurance upright, but stays in the cups. Again, a little bit of a rattle through 5A and B. Now on this curving related line 6 to 7 to 8. Goes the 6 strides and then the 7. Triple combination comes up next. At 9, A, B and C. He just gets a little close at the second element and the front rail comes down. Anderson Lima has set some pretty tough courses this week so far, playing with these related lines, as well as in some of our competitions setting quite tight time allowed as well. So that's been influential as well. Time allowed is not quite so tight today, it's 77 seconds, and so Kyle King is home also inside that time, but with just the 4 penalties. 1 pole into second place. We go onwards then to Daniel Anisette now with Fine Chardonnay PS. This is one of the younger horses in the field. It's an 8-year-old. And she's a mare by For Pleasure. Again goes on that 6. Well, it's that middle element at the triple combination that's influential again, this time for Daniel Anisette. Getting that 6 strides from 11 to 12. But flies the last, so 3 matching rounds to kick off this competition. 3 4 falters. Daniel Anisette at this stage the slowest of them and goes into 3rd place. Well, Caitlin Campbell had a great ride yesterday in the World Cup. Jumped clear with Castlefield Cornelius, so was through to the jump off. And comes forward here with Bull Run's Hesed. She ranks 189th in the world. And this is a 10-year-old gelding. Oh, what a pity. It's the first fence down, sadly, for Caitlin Campbell. Very early fault. First Oxa, first racing branded there, has also been influential as a design all week. Quite eye-catching with the black and white design. Again, she reaches over the central Oxa in the triple combination and doesn't quite get to the back rail. Well, Caitlin Campbell then comes home with the 3 poles down, and 12 is her score. Over to Alicia Gadban-Lewis now. She's had a couple of strong rides this week. And brings forward Caprinia de Rev now. Horse with whom she's had some top 10 placings in venues like Thunderbird Show Park in Vancouver recently, as well as some performances at Spruce Meadows at the 5-star level. This one is a 12-year-old by Canan. She also performed well in Europe with this horse at the back end of last year in Saint-Tropez, in Villamora, in Lier earlier as well, and then Bonheiden earlier this year for some 2-star competitions. And what a pity. Once again, it's the B element in the triple combination. Not too far away from this time allowed, and she'll just pick up 1 time penalty, so 4 jumping and 1 for time for Alicia Gadban-Lewis, and she is into 4th place now. 3 4 falters, a 5 and a 12 on our leaderboard at the moment. Still looking for the first clear, and we're looking for those clears to go through to our jump off. It's over to Anastasia Nielsen now of Monaco, with Contu.
Morley. Champions League next to work. Comp 2 and Stage Nielsen. First and only rider so far clear.
Well, Maddie Morley here working on the 4. Once again, it's that triple combination that causes some problems to add another 4. And she comes forward with Champions League, who's by Com Il Faut and is one that she owns herself.
Rails down across the field at 74.647 and a total of 8 balls.
Score then will be 8 for Maddie Morley. And Champions League, as we still are looking for the first clear. Natalie Faith Banis comes next for the USA once again with VDL-E Cecilia. It's on a 12-year-old mare. She competed this horse at San Juan Capistrano in the FEI classes. Very powerful horse that jumps really well through the double. She's competed this horse up to the meter 50 level. Had a win in Del Mar in a under 25 classic over the meter 45 fences in August. And had podium finishes in San Juan Capistrano and Temecula in this year as well. Again, this triple combination has been the point of the course, which has caused so many problems. Just a little stumble there on landing. And takes the final fence down as well, just gets a little underneath the fence, bit deep at the end. She's a little over the time as well, so 8 jumping and 1 time penalty gives Natalie Faith Banis just the 9 there. Well, Jamie Saylor is already into the ring. And Atlantic DVZ is Jamie's ride. Jamie's ride is a 10-year-old owned by Teton Farms. They've contested a few of the Split Rock Jumping Tour competitions and last year competed at Paso Robles in the Lugano Diamonds Grand Prix, 2-star competition. Again, it's that first racing Oxa. 2 key points on course at the moment in terms of faults, and once again it's that B element at the triple combination. She takes the C element as well, gives her the 12. This horse was with Arturo Parada Vallejo as a young horse and then competed by Juan Angel Hernandez Gonzalez of Mexico as well in 2022. Well, 3 rails for Jamie Saylor gives a score of 12. We go to Portugal now, to Bruno Diniz das Neves with Krian Kaisersoff. Unfortunately, fence 2 goes for Bruno and fence 3 as well. The C. Jarvis Insurance upright. 9-year-old mare by Caprice Bois Margot. Just trying to keep this mare balanced and keep that rhythm. She's just standing off some of these fences a little bit. Performed well in California in the past. Well, keeps it inside that time allowed, but 16 is Bruno's total score, and he's into 10th place with that performance.
Here's one of our busiest riders of the class with 3 to show here this afternoon. Here's first, Grand Prix, the white century Gucci. Gucci's a 10-year-old Holstein next to show. One clear with Anastasia Nielsen and Contu.
Just that one clear then, Anastasia Nielsen and Contu, as Erin Ballard comes into view. Lily Keenan sits in second with Opium JW van der Moorhover. 1 pole down, and Kyle King is in third with Bynamix Con Thalubay. Those are your faster 4 falters, with Lily Keenan by far the fastest time so far. But we are looking for the clears and for somebody to join Anastasia Nielsen in our jump-off. Erin Ballard then is up next with Gucci. She's had a few new rides here this week. This one has been primarily competed by Della White. Erin taking the reins briefly in the summer and in 2022, but the horse came from Jana Vargas of Germany. Erin had a 2-star Grand Prix win with this horse at Akala in the summer. Horse that's owned by Della White. It's a 10-year-old mare. Once again by Casal, couple bred by Casal in this pack, and gets another clear. So 2 now on a clean sheet, and 2 riders will go through to our jump off. Erin Ballard joins Anastasia Nielsen into the next round. Reagan Tom goes next with Justa Saminka. Regan contested the two-star competitions in Vancouver with this ride in September. Well, it's that front rail again at the first Oxa. Regan is, American rider here. Been a very successful young rider. Unfortunately, the total score will be 24 then for Regan Tom, and that goes into 12th place. Elizabeth Bates now comes into the ring with King of Canaan, won by Canaan, owned by Breakaway Equestrian. Solid long-term partnership with some top 10 placings this year in Tryon, and then in the young horse divisions last year. They're really just getting their partnership really cemented at the metre 45 level. They had a really good double clear in the two-star welcome stake at Tryon in October. Elizabeth just moving things on a little bit there to make sure that she doesn't pick up any time penalties. She's not too far away here. Remember, it is 77 seconds. And gets inside and comes home with the clear. So 3 riders now through to our jump off. They are, of course, Anastasia Nielsen, Erin Ballard and Elizabeth Bates. Abdul Rahman Al Raji is up next. Just dropped 1 pole yesterday in the World Cup leg with Ventago. But he was clear with that horse, double clear in fact in the Lugano Diamonds welcome class on Thursday. Heartbeat W is today's ride by Balubé de Rouet. Quite unusual there. He's really having to work very hard to get round that turn. I don't know if Heartbeat was just misreading the light as the shadows just start to appear on the arena. He certainly does well to keep things going and is coming home very strongly. That was very well ridden by Abdul Rahman Al Raji in this former ride of Elizabeth Bates. So he joins Elizabeth Bates in the jump off and becomes your 4th clear. Laura Kraut is up next with Dorado 212. Laura's had a great week this week, particularly jumping well with Très Bien, placing in pretty much every class they've jumped. Dorado 212 though, an 11-year-old gelding. She's 35th in the world rankings, and another rider who was presented with the beautiful trophies for the US Olympic team. And last night we had a presentation for that. She finished 6th in the World Cup leg at Washington. But her last show with Dorado 212 was actually the Longines League of Nations final in Barcelona, where she jumped in the Porsche Cup and Queen's Cup with this horse, clear for 6th in the Porsche Cup and just 1 time penalty for 13th in the Queen's Cup. This was also her ride for the Pan Am Games and for the Nations Cup final in 2023, where she was part of the 5th place team. She comes home with a clear as well. It's 74.421, and Laura Kraut becomes the 5th clear of the day. Well, on our starting order, 43 will come forward. 5 clear already. Laura Heiter with Aviator Z now. Laura's going pretty steadily down this line to the double, riding it very carefully. Laura competed this horse for several weeks at the Desert International Horse Park across the winter last season. Now once again making the most of the California sunshine. Sadly she does just find that distance a little short and is a bit deep in to take that front rail. Going to be 9 in total for Laura Heiter. 8 jumping and 1 time penalty. Ashley Bond comes forward now. Ashley's ride is this 8-year-old gelding, Night Wish. This was extremely impressive earlier on in the week. Horse just has an enormous jump and is really naturally quick as well, but was so impressive to see in action. Certainly is a really exciting prospect for the future. But just look at that natural scope. I'm sure Ashley is really excited about this one. Had some very solid performances in the summer in Tryon for 4 podium finishes, including a win. But what a pity. It's that central element once again of the triple combination. Well, just that one pole. It's a very quick time, though, for Ashley Bond. She's on the 4, and she's into 6th place. We do have 5 clears. She is, though, your fastest for Falter. McLean Ward is up next. McLean finished 2nd in the 5-star winning round competition just earlier on today, that being with First Lady, and La Serra is his ride. This is another one of these ones by Casal, owned by McLean together with Susie Ella and Marta Maddox. Bidding for another jump-off spot. He is, of course, your 9th ranked rider in the world and is placed 3rd in the World Cup leg at Toronto. Finished 16th last night in the World Cup here at Santa Anita with just 1 pole down. Well, McLean Ward then home on a score of 8 in total. Peter Pechenig represents Austria, and he is your next starter with Hocus Pocus 111Z. Hasn't quite had the results he might have liked this week, but this is his opportunity to right that. Just outside the world's top 250. Did make it through earlier on today into the top 10 of the winning round competition and finished 10th. Unfortunately, he has that 4 now. With this 8-year-old stallion. Big jump over that Lugano Oxa. And Peter Pechenig with this 8-year-old stallion certainly hasn't done too much wrong here. Comes home 4 jumping and 1 time penalties with a score of 5 then. Into 10th place again. 10th in the winning round earlier on today. Well, 5 clears out of 19 starters. James Chalk then for Ireland now. Rides his own Nakara van Berkenbroek. He's been very consistent with his rides in recent weeks. And was the winner of the Arthur Midvet National Welcome Prix with this ride on Friday. Nakara van Berkenbroek, an 11-year-old gelding by Non-Stop. Extremely successful show at Vancouver in September for James with his 2 top rides. Lots of podium finishes in many classes, finishing both first and second. Well, James Chalk continues the good results with this impressively consistent horse, Nakara van Berkenbroek, and is your 6th clear. We will be taking a short drag break, and Avery Griffin is your final rider before we take that 10-minute break. Avery rides Oh My Star Van Strightum. Safely over that Dalman Oxer to start. She ranks on the FEI Jumping Under 25 list of those best young riders in the world. And she contested the North American Youth Championships this summer in the junior category. Individual and team 4th. But in the pre-juniors in 2022, she clinched team gold and individual silver. Those results, though, coming with another ride of hers. But still very impressive to be competing at this level as a junior rider. This is her 3rd show with Oh My Star Van Strightum. The horse was with Claire McKean and then with Brian Mowgray. Avery with a 4th place finish in Tryon in a speed class with this horse. She comes now towards the final fence with plenty of time, but goes out a little bit wide. She is indeed clear. And so we actually have 7 riders clear now. Just to recap those for you, those are Anastasia Nielsen, Erin Ballard, Elizabeth Bates, Abdul Rahman Al Raji, Laura Kraut, James Chalk and Avery Griffin. Those 7 at this stage are coming back for the jump off. We're at the halfway point now. And we go forward with a further 21 combinations after a 10-minute pause. We'll be back very shortly.
World-class entertainment experiences while also championing the horse and rider safety and welfare. Got a quick drag break coming up next. Anastasia Nielsen, Erin Ballard, Elizabeth Bates, Abdul Rahman Al Raji. Laura Trout, James Chalk, and now Avery Griffin. 7 qualify for the jump off so far.
Good afternoon and welcome back then to today's second feature class, the $50,000 First Racing National Grand Prix. It is a competition, of course, with a jump off, and 7 riders at this stage will be coming back to jump again. We kick off with Alexandra Azevedo, who competes Amber 119. Amber is a 13-year-old stallion. Sadly, the Dalman Oxer has come down at this early stage. That's fence 2. Take another look around this course. It's 7 strides down from fence 4 to 5, and Alexandra just finds that split rock upright a little tricky on that line. And down goes the Longines Oxer, and that following upright as well. Well, he comes home with some time penalties as well, so it's 19 in total for first in this second half. Alexandra Azevedo. Next in then is Elisa Brose with Tinkerbell, 14-year-old by Chaco Blue. Go through the double on that far side. Fourteen-year-old mare here, and Elisa in yesterday's competitions had some good rounds, and she comes home with another good round here today. It is clear, and now that is 8 going through to the jump off. We turn to Erin Ballard again then now with Let's Fly. Erin jumped clear with her earlier ride, Gucci. This one is owned by Ilan Ferder and is another 8-year-old. Remember, she is the leading female rider in the world. Certainly would be impressive to pick up 2 clear round performances here today. This horse was with Catherine Brewer until recently, American rider. Contested the 2 and 4 star as well as the young horse competitions with this one, and purchased by Ilan Ferda in July of this year. And indeed another very impressive performance from Erin Ballard. She has 2 through to the jump off, 2 out of the 9 who have now qualified. Well, 43 are going to come forward, and we're just over the halfway stage, but 9 now clear in this first racing National Grand Prix. Olivia Cliver is your next starter on course with Interactive Mortgage Queijano. Well, this 11-year-old has been with Olivia since the summer of this year, was competed by Ireland's Anna Duff up to the 5-star level, and was with Nicholas Gamboa back in 2022. Olivia's had 4 top 10 placings with this horse, including a 2nd place in a 3-star power and speed competition in Lexington, and 6th in a 2-star Grand Prix in Tryon. Bit of a miscommunication coming into this Longines Oxa. It's a shame. Just working to settle down Interactive Mortgage Queijano. We'll just taking a short pause for Olivia Cliver to represent to the Longines Oxa, and that's good to see them over that at the 2nd time. Unfortunately, we have another refusal here though, this time at the upright. And sadly, with 2 refusals, that will be elimination for Olivia. Well, this striking horse is called Grand Desert, and it's partnered by Nicholas Choi, a 13-year-old mare. Quite unusual to see a coloured horse like this in the field. What a treat to see one of these in action. Nicholas contested the 2-star Grand Prix at San Juan Capistrano with this horse last year, and they've had 6 FEI top 10 placings together, coming across California and 1 in Portland. He's done very well to sit that. good few fences down in the triple combination, but certainly Nicholas Choi has done well to keep this going. Very persistent riding. Comes home over the last and he's inside the time, but sadly it's 28 for Nicholas Choi. Nine clear then, so far. Those 9 all will come back for today's jump off. Francie Nilforshan now rides Belfast Z, an 11-year-old by Bamako de Muse. Francie took this ride on from Niels Kirsten of the Netherlands. Competed at Del Mar last year and this summer. Sadly, that C. Jarvis insurance fence at 2 causes them an issue. Triple combination is coming down for them. Well, a little to add for time for Francie Nilforshan as well. It's 14 as a total score for 22nd place. Lane Clark is your next rider in. Lane hails from Australia and brings forward Diva de la Tour Vidal. Lane had a good win last week in the LA National. Well, Lane's contested World Cup competitions in the past. But this horse has had quite the break from international competition. He campaigns this one at the national level primarily. Jumping well here. Took on this ride from France's Yuri Trottereau. And, oh, what a pity. It was a lovely clear over the fences, but one time penalty for Lane Clark puts him into 10th place. That's such a shame. He'll be a little disappointed with that. not too many riders picking up the time penalties, and unfortunately it's down for Lane Clark. Well, Melody Lieu comes forward with Napoleon Vandendal. Still 9 clear. And Lane Clark in 10th with his 1 time penalty. Oh, Melody goes for an enormous stride there. Really sees a long one. Sadly, that causes her to part ways with Napoleon Vandendal. And the horse is up and on his feet and making a swift exit. Sadly, that will incur elimination, of course. We'll just take a short pause while we wait for Napoleon Vandendal to be caught. Looks like the team at the in-gates have just managed to grab a rein there. But crucially though, 9 riders are through to our jump-off, and those 9 are Anastasia Nielsen, Erin Ballard, Elizabeth Bates, Abdul Rahman Al-Raji, Laura Kraut, James Chalk, Avery Griffin, Elisa Brose and Erin Ballard with a second ride. 14 remain on our starting order. How many clears will we have? That is the question. They will, of course, come back to contest the shortened course set once again by Anderson Lima. And Kali Schott has been a busy rider this week. Had a good few clears in the top level competitions. And Teddy Z is this afternoon's ride for her at the national level. Well, Kali, as I say, has had an extremely successful week, and Teddy Z's a 13-year-old that she's pretty established with now. This line from the Longines Oxa, and on that running curve to 7 and then to 8 has been jumping quite well. The first Oxa there that she's just cleared has been influential. Triple combination here has been problematic as well, but Teddy Z is a very athletic horse with plenty of impulsion. Unfortunately, she just stands off the middle element a little bit there and struggles to get the distance. Well, it's 8 in total for Kali Schott and Teddy Z. 2 poles dropped. Nicole Walker comes forward now with Leicester. 8 rolled. Beautiful setting here, and it really makes a unique picture with that split rock jumping tour and Longines in gate there, and we're set right in front of the San Gabriel Mountains. California's sun is shining, and it is an absolutely stunning setting here at Santa Anita Park. Incredibly historic venue, of course, the host for the equestrian events for the 1984 Olympic Games as well, and this is the first time that show jumping has returned to this venue. But Nicole Walker is bidding for a good result in this perfectly designed arena. Footing has been praised all week as being absolutely outstanding, and Leicester is her ride. She just dropped one pole in the winning round earlier on today. Oh, and the first racing Oxa is the fence that falls for her, down on that back rail. His total score will be 8 for Nikki Walker and Leicester. Skylar Wyman then is your next rider in with Barclino B. This one is an 8-year-old. Skylar jumped the World Cup class last night with Tornado. That was her ride for the World Cup final this year as well. Of course, she contested the North American Youth Championships too. Again with Tornado, being her 3rd appearance at that championships. Barclino then came from Germany's Kendra Clarissa Brinkhoff, and even for this experienced young rider, the triple combination is the problematic part of the course, and specifically that central Oxa. They are just finding the distance from A to B a little bit long, and the back rail is coming down again and again for these competitors. But Skylar's already had some podium finishes with this horse in their career together so far, and she'll just drop one pole for a score of 4. And Caroline Ann Lynn is next up with Bacot. This 13-year-old joined Caroline in the summer of this year after having been a ride quite extensively for Arturo Parada Vallejo, and briefly then for Argentina's Mariano Alario. But this horse finished third in the World Cup leg at Puebla last year. Very much has a little bit of a misjudgment coming into the Longines Oxa, and this line of curving related distances, once you have one of those fences down, it really has such a knock-on effect to the others, and unfortunately that has been the case here for Caroline Ann Lynn. Gets it a little bit wrong to that Longines Oxa, and that gives her then 3 fences in, 1 line down. She's going to raise her hand and opt to retire here a few fences down. Means that Caroline Lynn knows that she won't sadly be placing. Ashley Bond now has a second ride of the class with Cordetto 3. She came forward with Nightwish earlier on, her 8-year-old, and just dropped 1 pole. Ashley ranks 102nd at the moment in the world, but of course an Olympian from Paris, a 2-time Olympian in fact. It's a little uncharacteristic for her, sadly not right for them coming into the triple combination. Well, she opts to retire. Well, Ashley opts to retire there with Cordetto, but has that good 4 faulting round with Nightwish, her earlier ride. 9 still are clear. Sean Cassidy then goes next. Now, Sean Cassidy has had a really good week this week. He's performed very well in several of our top competitions, several of our 5-star competitions, and he was also clear in the World Cup competition last night, that being with Cool Quartz. He then just dropped 1 pole in the jump-off to finish 6th. Castellissimo is his ride now. This horse is owned by Tiffany Sullivan. And Sean has also been performing well in Vancouver this year with this horse, a 3rd in the West Coast Cup, 6th in another 4-star class in Vancouver, and at further podiums at the end of last year in San Juan Capistrano, and done well at Thermal and Las Vegas in the past as well with this ride. Well, unfortunately, it is one time penalty for Sean Cassidy. That's such a pity. It was a lovely clear jumping round, but just a little bit steady to pick up one for time. Still on that 9 clears, so out of those 36, we're on about 25%. As we have a second ride for Avery Griffin. She's already clear with Oh My van der Stratum and is through to the jump off already, but brings forward now Bodega Semni for her second ride. Avery, another young rider. And the two she brings forward to this national Grand Prix, presented by First Racing, are very much her two top rides. She took this ride on from Eden Le Provost Bin Le Breton, a daughter of Penelope Le Provost. And she's placed in the top 7 in every single competition except one that she's jumped with this horse, in the top 12 in all of them. That's 8 top 7s, 9 top 12s with this horse already. They've really been very consistent. She took this one to the Youth Nations Cup final and the North American Youth Championships in the junior category. Horse had quite a bit of success though with Eden, who actually took this horse to the Junior Europeans in 2022 and going to the Junior North American Youth Championships with Avery. Coming down to the last then and maintaining their consistent record, it's a lovely clear for Avery Griffin, and impressively she has now 2 rides clear and into the jump off. She's the 10th clear. And so 10 are now cleared, 2 for Avery Griffin. 2 also for Erin Ballard, so 8 riders coming back. 10 combinations so far. Jessica Springsteen brings forward now Galaxy Girl. She won our opening 2-phase competition earlier on this week. That was very hotly contested, and she was just about a second faster than her closest rival, that being with her horse Naomi. Galaxy Girl, one of her younger ones, an 8-year-old. She had some good results with this horse in some 7- and 8-year-old classes in Riesenbeck in the summer, and also performed well in Valkenswaard. There's a bit of a rattle at that First Racing Oxa. But this horse jumps really strongly for her. It's a Swedish warm blood. Oh, what a pity. Just a little bit of a battle to get the control, and it causes her to be deep into the Lugano Oxa. So Jessica Springsteen will come home with the 4. Might have just lost a shoe at the final fence there as well. But a good performance from the 8-year-old. And 6 combinations remain. Laura Kraut returns. This time with Lady D. She's clear with Dorado 212. Couple of riders with 2 rides into the jump off. Will Laura be the next? Lady D is an 8-year-old mare. Laura 35th in the world. And she's clear with her Pan Am Games ride. Brand new ride though for Laura. This horse was with Berber Diekman of the Netherlands. Sadly, in the triple combination, that central element causes even Laura Kraut to pick up 4 penalties. She remains then on the 4. And she goes into 16th place. Quite a quick 4 faults. But 10 will come back. Well, Erin Ballard comes forward with a 3rd ride now. She does indeed have 2 through to the jump-off already. This is her 3rd go at this competition. This time with Ginger ASK, her 10-year-old mare by Casal. She has been campaigning Ginger in more and more 5-star classes recently, with some top 10 results at Traverse City. She was 6th in the winning round, 3rd with this horse in the Major League Show Jumping Qualifier at Traverse City, 2nd in a 3-star welcome at Traverse City as well, and has had further podium finishes at North Salem and at WEF with this ride. Very consistent for the leading lady rider, who is bidding for 3 spots in today's jump-off. And indeed, she will get there. 3 rides now going through into that 2nd round. Erin Ballard is absolutely on fire, and a great day at the office for her, with picking up clears with all 3 horses. It's Nicolas Gamboa now with NKH Vittorio S. This pair did the World Cup in Las Vegas last year. Very shortly after Nicholas took on this ride. He's had 7 top 10s with this horse so far. Unfortunately, it's that first racing Oxer. He is going at quite some pace here. Well, the score then for Nicholas Gamboa will be just the 4 into 17th. Plenty of 4 falters in this competition. Anderson Lima has set a very specific test with a few places to keep an eye out for. Certainly the first racing Oxa is a key one, as is the triple combination. Well, Kyle King is coming a little out of order here. Just coming a little later on than originally planned with Diamond. Unfortunately, that C. Jarvis Insurance upright has also caused a few problems. Kyle King still on that 4 from the early part of the course, and remains on that score of 4. No jump off for him. We will have at this point 11 combinations coming back. 3 of those rides will be for Erin Ballard. 2 remain then. Brooke Peterson and James Chalk with the second ride, and Brooke Peterson goes first with Wannabe CS. Well, that C. Jarvis Insurance fence once again is down, this time for Brooke Peterson. We are having a few costly rounds here because, as I say, Anderson Lima has certainly designed plenty of questions all the way around this course. Equally, the Longines Oxa and to those related fences. This is a former rider of Peter Pechenik, who of course competed earlier on in this class. Peter also not quite through to the jump off, sadly. But Brooke has had 3 top 10s out of 4 starts in FEI competition with this horse, which includes 4 clear rounds out of 5 jumped. Over the last in plenty of time, but she scores 12 all in all. Well, 11 will come back at this stage, and just 1 remains. Although I believe we may have just a short pause here. Well, we do anticipate James Chalk as your final rider into the ring. We're just taking a short pause as we await his arrival. He'll be bringing forward another of these very consistent rides, Dido van der Ruytershof Z. But remember, 11 combinations are through so far. Erin Ballard with 3 rides, her rides being Gucci, Let's Fly and Ginger ASK. Avery Griffin brings forward 2 to the jump off. Bodega Semley and Oh My Star Van Struyten. And then Anastasia Nielsen comes back, as does Abdul Rahman Al Raji, Laura Kraut. And as well as James Chalk, Elisa Bruce as well. Here he is then, James Chalk, as your final starter in the first round of this $50,000 First Racing National Grand Prix. James Chalk is clear with Nakara van Berkenbroek Z and has just this final ride to show here with Dido van der Ruytershoff Z, his 10-year-old. James has had quite a selection of wins and top placings with this horse. He's actually had 5 wins in Vancouver this year with this ride, including 2 Grand Prix and the 3-star Atco Cup. He's also had podium finishes at San Juan Capistrano with this horse and really has been extremely consistent since taking on the ride in April of this year. Will he be another rider with 2 into the jump off? He's coming home very strongly down to the final fence and plenty of time as well. He does indeed get the clear. So 2 rides will come back for James Chalk and Dido van der Ruytershoff Z. Means that 12 combinations will be returning for the jump off. Certainly be interesting to see how they tackle this shortened course designed by Anderson Lima in the final class of the day, the final class of the week. We look forward to bringing you every second of that jump off in a few moments' time. Well, first clear in this $50,000 first racing presented National Grand Prix was Anastasia Nielsen. Riding Contu, she was 6th to go. And as I say, she was your first clear, and she's going to be the first of 12 combinations coming back. Let's take a look around this course with Anastasia. An upright here at a new fence at 14 to kick things off, before she then travels to 5A from that double combination. Now she turns left-handed, a roll back to a new fence again at 15, the Sir Davis upright. And then another new fence at 16. It's fence 4 in reverse, the split rock upright there. And then over to the triple combination, 9, B and C. And B was the really influential part of that combination before. Anastasia has it down now. Over to fence 12, the Longines upright. And then the final fence at 13 finishes things off. She comes home with a pretty good time, actually, 38.112. But it's one pole down, 122, 38.122 for Anastasia Nielsen, and 4 is on the score sheet to kick things off. Well, Erin Ballard has 3 rides in this jump off. All 3 of her horses jumping clear. Very impressive to achieve that. Her first ride is Gucci. Does this give her the advantage to have the opportunity to try this jump-off course 3 times? Unfortunately, takes 5A down, but the turn back is really good, very tight, and perhaps just a little too tight for Gucci. Erin eases off the pace now. She knows that with 2 fences down, she's not likely to take the win. Well, Gucci comes home with Erin Ballard a score of 12 in a time of 41.321. That 10-year-old owned by Della White going into 2nd place. But Erin has 2 further rides that she can use to target the win in this $50,000 class. Lion's share, of course, will go to the winner. Elizabeth Bates goes forward now with King of Cannon. No double clear yet, so a clear would take the lead. Fastest time is 38.12. Keeps that turn pretty tight, and that comes off really well for her. On the angle at the split rock upright. Goes slightly wider out to the double, and that's a really good decision. It allows her to really set up for that combination. 1 fence left then for Elizabeth Bates to come home with a fast clear. She does indeed jump double clear with King of Cannon, and 35.133 is by far the fastest time we've had so far, and it's a great way to take the lead. We go now to Abdul Rahman Al Raji, who rides the former Elizabeth Bates ride, Heartbeat W. We have a time to beat of 35.133. Is Elizabeth going to be dropped out of the lead by her former ride? Abdul Rahman is always very competitive. Hasn't managed to clinch a win this week, but he's been in a couple of jump-offs. And that's quick from 1 to 2. He's going for the approach of keeping this horse's natural pace up. And takes a stride out to the split rock uprights. Just seems to be struggling with the balance on the turns a little bit here, and really takes a stride out into the double. I think he's lost his stirrup as well here. He's just working to try to get that back. Bit of a twist in the air. And so Abdul Rahman will come home with a score of 8 and 39.175. Well, the first member of the US Olympic team to be coming into the ring is Laura Kraut. Laura's had, again, some very strong results this week, placing in every class with her ride Très Bien and Dorado 212. Her Pan American Games ride is the one that she brings forward for the jump off of this National Grand Prix. Time to beat is 35.133. Uses the good ground cover to go one less down that distance. Working hard to keep that momentum around her tight turn. Dorado, who is so careful with the hind end. Is she going to be quick enough? It's going to be a little bit close, not quite fast enough, but a lovely double clear for Laura Kraut and Dorado 212. That time with the clear is 36.624. And Elizabeth Bates still holds on to the lead. Well, James Chalk has 2 rides in this competition as well, in this jump-off, in fact. The first of his 2 rides, he'll be last to go as well, is going to be Nakara van Berkenbroek Z, one of these 2 exceptionally consistent rides. This combination can be really quick as well, and he's setting off, really racing down to that Oxer at 5A. And he really has a great combination of horses here that he can just really let them gallop around these distances. Needs to be clear. And that time to beat is 35.133. He might just get there. James Chalk then coming in to take the lead and does so. It is clear and it is 34.482. That's the new time to beat. And he has another excellent ride to come as the last rider to go. We have 2 rides to come for Avery Griffin, 2 rides to come for Erin Ballard, and a second for James Chalk, and as well as Elisa Brose. They are the combinations yet to come in this first racing National Grand Prix, and Avery Griffin is ready to get going here with Oh My Star, Van Strightum. Needs to be clear. Needs to be about 34 seconds. Oh, what a pity. Goes a little bit wider, but keeps the pace up on that rollback, and down it comes. And again, goes slightly wider, but trying to keep the pace up here That seems to be the approach that she's going for. She might well get there on the clock, but that pole down is sadly not going to have her take the lead. Not far away on the time, but one pole for Avery Griffin will put her into 4th place. Faster than Anastasia Nielsen, who goes into 5th. But James Chalk and Nakara leading. Elisa Brose now comes up with Tinkerbell, looking to fly around this course and take the lead. She's looking to snatch it away from Ireland's James Chalk. Really nice turn, and Tinkerbell is very careful at these uprights. Oh, what a shame. Double combination comes down for Elisa Brose. So the score is 4. But with that time of 35.021, it's a really good time. Not far away at all. That will go into 4th place now, and Avery Griffin drops into 5th. Anastasia Nielsen into 6th. Your top 3 still are the clears. James Chalk with Nakara in the lead with that time of 34.482. In 2nd, Elizabeth Bates. And in 3rd, Laura Kraut. Those are your 3 double clears. Erin Ballard is ready very quickly with her 2nd ride. That 2nd ride being Let's Fly. She had 3 down with Gucci, but she has the benefit of having already had a spin around this track. And so it's Let's Fly as the sun begins to set in California for Erin Ballard, trying to take the lead for Canada. Again, she's taking this approach of keeping that pace up rather than making the turns too tight, but goes really on the angle at that split rock upright, very quickly over the ground to the double, and manages that really well. 2 fences from home then. Erin Ballard needs to come home under 34.482. She's not quite going to get there, but she does get the double clear. And 37 seconds is her time. She goes into 4th out of those 4 clears. She was certainly quick in certain parts of that course, but she's almost 3 seconds slower than James Chalk, who still holds the lead. Well, we have left to go 3 combinations: Avery Griffin and Bodega Semi, Erin Ballard and Ginger ASK, and James Chalk with Dido van der Ruyterhof Z. All of these riders have, of course, had previous horses in this competition, so we may just have a few moments pause while we await their arrival. Of course, if you've missed any of the action this week, you can watch the international competitions back on the FEI TV archive. Of course, that fantastic World Cup competition last night, won by Carl Cook. That is a serious competition that I would recommend you go back to watch. But we've certainly had some really exciting international classes over the course of the week. And you can watch the national competitions back on the Split Rock Jumping Tour app and YouTube channel as well. The split rock jumping tour, of course, is on its penultimate leg for the 2024 calendar year. They will be travelling to Fort Worth from the 11th to the 15th of December, and that will be the final competition of the year for the series. The World Cup Series continues in 2025 with 3 further legs as well. With competitions at the Desert International Horse Park, at Puebla and at Ocala. So we do have 3 combinations remaining. We're just awaiting their arrival. It's going to be Avery Griffin and Bodega Semi into the ring next. Avery, of course, has only just competed with Oh My Star. And so we're just giving her a moment to be able to ready herself with this second ride to be able to tackle this course. Just 3 riders remain then. We'll be back very shortly to conclude this $50,000 first racing National Grand Prix. Well, we still are awaiting the final 3 competitors in this $50,000 National Grand Prix. We will be bringing you Avery Griffin, Erin Ballard and James Chalk. Each of those riders had more than 1 horse in our jump-off, and so we're just giving them a moment to prepare themselves for this speed round. James Chalk leads the way with Nakara van Berkenbroek, but one of these 3 will be bidding to take the crown. We're just having a few moments pause. But in fact, Avery Griffin is into view.
Chalk, the leader, is 4 clear, 34.482, the fastest of those. First 3 remaining now.
So James Chalk leads with a time of 34.482. And Avery Griffin looks like she's going to go for it here with Bodega Semi. She's already getting a pace up as she heads into the first fence. Good speed to the Oxer at 5. Second ride for Avery here. Goes steady to the split rock upright. Really encourages Bodega Semley into the double. 2 fences left, but 34.482 is the time to beat. She's got to gallop to the final fence. Avery Griffin then, can she make it inside that time? Oh, just a fraction outside, but it's double clear. And 35.193 is the time on the clock for Avery Griffin. Maybe a little steady into that split rock upright, but she obviously wanted to secure the double clear. So she doesn't take the lead. She goes into 4th place. And James Chalk is guaranteed a podium finish. Elizabeth Bates is in 2nd, Avery Griffin in 3rd, Laura Kraut 4th, and Darren Ballard in 5th at this stage. We're still waiting for Erin with her 3rd ride of this jump off, Ginger ASK. So we are keeping you on the edge of your seats while we bring you the jump off competition here. 2 riders remain. Once again, we're just taking a short pause while we await the arrival of Erin Ballard with her latest ride, the 3rd and final ride for her in today's jump off. She's on her way in just a moment. Here she comes. Erin Ballard is ready to go with Ginger ASK. Her best placing at the moment with her other ride, Let's Fly, is 5th. She was double clear, but 37.092 was her time. James Chalk still leads the way with a time of 34.482. That's the time to beat. Can Erin make the most of having 3 rides in this jump off to take the title? The only rider to qualify 3 horses for the 2nd round takes a long one at the Oxer there. And she lands and keeps that pace up very quickly on this horse. Good through this double, really solid. It's 34.482 to beat. Has she steadied a bit too much for the Longines upright? 34.482 is the time to beat. Oh, and agonisingly close once again. It's 35.129. There was not much room for Erin Ballard to take anything else out there, and she slots into 2nd place. And James Chalk is guaranteed the win here this afternoon, but will it be with his first ride, Nakara van Berkenbroek, or will it be with Dido van ter Ruytershoff? He has the opportunity to try to better his own time, or possibly to knock Erin Ballard down off the podium. And James Chalk then is the final rider to go. And we just await his arrival. Well, here he comes then with this 2nd ride, James Chalk. Is he going to try to beat his own performance? Or will he just go for a steady clear, knowing he's already clinched the win? Just one ride remains. It is James Chalk with Dido van der Reutershoff Z. $50,000 is on the line. But it'll be really interesting to see what James's approach is here, because he, as I say, has guaranteed himself the win already with his earlier ride. Well, he's still getting a good pace up here. This horse is very naturally quick as well. They're really quite similar types of horses in terms, certainly to watch in action. Really naturally quick and naturally very careful. He certainly is going for it here. He's looking to beat his own time, and 34.482 is that time. And he's done it. Quite incredibly, James Chalk takes the first and second spots in this competition. He takes first with Dido van der Reutershoff. He takes second with Nakara van Berkenbrock. And Erin Ballard takes third with Ginger ASK. Absolutely outstanding performance from James Chalk to take the top two spots in this $50,000 first racing national Grand Prix. Plenty of double clears though here in the end, with Erin Ballard taking third, Elizabeth Bateson fourth, Avery Griffin is fifth, and Laura Kraut is sixth. Fantastic lineup of riders for the top placings in this national Grand Prix. But it has been a pleasure to take you through all of the action on these competitions all week. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have. Do remember you can watch these competitions back on the Split Rock Jumping Tour app and YouTube channel, or indeed on Clip My Horse. Split Rock Jumping Tour continues with a visit to Fort Worth in December, so do keep an eye out for those competitions. But enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll hand over to the arena party for the prize giving ceremony for this final class of the day. Enjoy the rest of your day.
We'd like to once again thank First Equestrian, North America's leading thoroughbred racing, hospitality, wagering company, operating those premier venues across the country, including right here in Santa Anita, as we come to the final award presentation of the week for the $50,000 first Meter 45 National Grand Prix. Well, hey, here they come. Let's welcome back our top placers for today's National Grand Prix, proudly presented by First Equestrian. Of course, Lugano and Split Rock Jumping Tours show manager Mr. Derek Braun joining us here with our representatives from First Equestrian, Jody Vela-Gregory and Ainsley Hayes. As we bring all of our riders in and line them up here for the presentation of awards, our final presentation on once again what's been a fantastic week of show jumping. These riders jumped very, very well throughout the competition, all coming back for the jump off as we have the top 8 overall, with, of course, James Chalk finishing first and second. Elisa Brose and Tinkerbell will be our 8th place award winner. Looks like Nicole Walker joining us down there as well. Avery Griffin in 5th with Bodega Semele. And your 4th place award winner, Elizabeth Bates and King of Canaan. Aaron Ballard finished 3rd aboard Ginger Ask. And Let's Fly takes home 7th. Gucci in 12th for Aaron. 3 top placings on her 3 horses. As James Chalk will be joining us in just a moment with the championship, the Flowers Cooler, and the win. 1st and 2nd for James Chalk, the Irishman, owning and riding both these horses. As he enters the arena, we'll get the photograph first with the Flowers, and Jody and Ainsley from First Equestrian joining us here. Of course, Nicole Walker as well. The inaugural event here, our CSI 5-star event, but it won't be the last. Come on back and join us a year away for more spectacular show jumping. 5-star returns, World Cup show jumping, leg number 4, captured by Carl Cook last night. James Chalk wrapping up the week in our National Grand Prix with Dido van Ruytershoff, your champion. We'll ask James and Aaron to step off their horses here, just 2 of them coming up for the podium because James was first on Dido and second aboard Nakara van Berkenbroek. Another podium finish here for Aaron Ballard as well. She's had a lot of those this week. Let's welcome to the podium your 3rd place finisher, Aaron Ballard, aboard the horse Ginger Ask. And 1st and 2nd going out to James Chalk with Dido and Nakara respectively. And for the final time, let's honor today's champion with the playing of the Irish National Anthem for Mr. James Chalk. Popping bottles is our final competition. You might as well get them all. Well done for James and Aaron. Congratulations to the two of you. Both of them had a great week of show jumping, capping it off in our National Grand Prix, as they'll have a sip of that bubbly, head down to remount on their horses. I think they got everybody as well. Thanking Jody, Ainsley, and Nicole for joining us from First Equestrian. Of course, Derek Braun out on the field, the man behind most of it here, putting it all together. In conjunction with a lot of people to put an event on like this. The dozens and dozens behind the scenes. I'd like to thank all of them. Our champion will remount James Chalk to lead us off in the victory ride for one last time for this week. James, congratulations, and if you would, let's lead the way with Dido van Reuters off, your champion, James Chalk. Aaron Ballard and Ginger Ask in second. Elizabeth Bates and King of Canaan third. Avery Griffin in fifth. Bodega Semele, Elizabeth fourth, of course. And Elisa Bros out there with Tinkerbell in eighth. But one more time, your champion, James Chalk, and Dido van Reuters off, picking up the last of our blue ribbons for the competition week in Santa Anita. James, one more time around the arena to honor our last winner and the National Grand Prix champion, James Chalk. Congratulations, James. A great effort here. Multiple ribbons, first and second around the arena. Not only a great rider, but a wonderful man as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us at our inaugural 5-star event. It was the first in Lugano Diamond Split Rock Jumping Tour. Sends forth the final competition as well. For the dozens of people that work here behind the scenes, for all of us from the Longines FEI, from all of us at Split Rock, my name is Max von Zimmerman. Have a great evening. May all your first rounds be clear. May all your jump-offs be fast. And we'll see you down the road and hopefully right back here next year.